Good evening and welcome to the What the Fort Monarchs preview show as we look ahead to the Monarchs match against the Plymouth Gladiators on Friday evening. We are Dave Harley here from Sittingbourne, the Central Park, home of the Kent Kings, where the Monarchs have narrowly been defeated 46-43 here on Tuesday night. It was a close match where the Monarchs struggled all the way through, but a vital 5-1 in Heat 15 got us that bonus point for finishing within 3 points. As I said, preview shows looking ahead to Friday night for Plymouth Gladiators, where we've got Jason Crump and Bjarne Pedersen in town, and we will look ahead to that with an interview from Zane Keleher and the Monarchs match point winner tonight, Kai Thomson. We will start here tonight as the Monarchs, as I said, narrowly lost 46-43. Sam Masters top scoring with 16 points, including a tactical substitute ride in Heat 12 when he was paired up with Kai Thomson against Paul Stark, who's probably been the best rider around here all season. Sam hit the front. Kai was fantastic down the back straight, and the third and fourth pen came roaring under Paul and led him down the home straight, forcing Paul to make a rather ambitious move as they entered the first bend for the second time. Unfortunately, he collected Kai and took him off, and Paul Stark was excluded, and Kai got up and got that 5-1 with Sam. Wonderful team riding between the two of them. Not sure they really need to do it, but it was great to see, and it was obviously good practice for Heat 15, because with that race win, that 5-1, Kai earned himself a Heat 15 position for the first time this season, and didn't make it count with another 5-1 with Sam, I say, to get us down to 46-43, and mean we go back up the road with a point again. Slim comfort, but given where we were earlier in the meeting, when unfortunately we weren't quite going, and we threw too many points away tonight with Richie Worrell probably looking back at a couple of races he would like again. Nathan Greaves with a couple of falls, unfortunately, and Luke Krang forgetting his dirt deflector in Heat 2, which was a massive shame, as he actually burst into the lead and was looking good, and that could have been set a completely different tone for the meeting. But instead of it being potentially a 5-1 to the Monarchs and taking us into the lead, we ended up losing a 3-2 with Nathan failing to keep the lead in the rerun, looking perhaps as if he was still struggling a little bit from the injury and getting to grips with this Kent track. For the rest of the Monarchs, Josh Pickering probably had a night he'd like to forget with a fall in his third ride, and then a last in Heat 14 when it looked like there was a chance for a positive result with our old friend Cameron Heap's not looking so strong, but Cameron got out in the lead, and Josh, a terrible gate, ended up last, and despite all he couldn't pass Jake Mulford, which I'm sure Josh, looking back, will be disappointed with that. But difficult track conditions for some of the guys. As I said, with Willie Lawson missing with COVID, we've got 3 points from Kai winning Heat. Kai winning Heat 8, so perhaps about par for Willie this season. Kai, as I said already, phenomenal. 10 and 3 bonus is what I've got his score as, and that included an engine failure, which was again symptoms of Monarchs at that point in time throwing points away. But they battled back on through there, and when you've got Sam Masters in 3 of the last 5 races, you know we're in a chance. And with a tactical substitute, that became 4 rides in the last 5, and got us through to that 46-43. Anyway, so we're the preview show, and so we'll look ahead to that Plymouth match on Friday night. As I said already, that very big top 2 with Jason Crump and Bjarne Pedersen looking good for Plymouth. They were strong against us last week when we lost by 10, and for the first time this season really struggling in Heat 13 and Heat 15. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in those races when we get those back on on Friday night. The big star for Plymouth in our match against them last week was Zane Keleher with a fantastic heat 14 and heat 15, and really taking advantage of his second chance after Poole discarded him earlier in the season. And it's always a bit harsh when a young Australian is for the first time he's getting across here, but he's taken full advantage of that second chance and looking pretty good for Plymouth. And Graham Munsey took the opportunity to speak to him ahead of Friday's match.
So we're joined on the What the Fork Monarchs preview show by Plymouth Zane Keleher. Zane, thank you very much for joining us.
No worries, thanks for having me.
I guess it's been a bit of an up and down season for the Gladiators. Obviously, you came into the team partway through the season. We've seen a lot of changes at reserve, but now it seems that we Crumpy back from injury as well. It seems to be a pretty settled 1-7, and it'll be a case of Plymouth trying to kick on and scrape into those playoffs. That must be the goal for the end of the season.
Yeah, I think so. We've got a pretty settled team now. As you mentioned, we've had a few changes, but I think that was to be expected when they brought in Crumpy and Bjarni on such high averages. You know, it didn't leave many points left over for the rest of the team, but we've got a pretty solid team now, and you know, we're proven to be fairly strong at home. We've lost a couple of matches by only a couple of points, and then managed to pick off a few wins as well. So there's no reason why we can't win every match at home and start picking up some points on the road.
Yeah, and it seems to be from the outside. I mean, I was down last week when the Monarchs raced at the Coliseum, and it seems like everyone's pushing in the same direction. It seems to be a good club to be in. There's a real community spirit, you know, from the fans to the mascot to even the guys on the gate. Everyone seems to be pushing the same way. So it must be a good place to be. You must be enjoying your time there at Plymouth.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you mentioned, it's all about the people and the team, the promoter, team manager, the volunteers of the club, the track crew, like you said, the mascot, the crowd. Everyone's very supportive, and it's a great atmosphere and a great place to be.
And just how, you know, as a young Aussie, I know obviously Edinburgh have got 3 Aussies in the team, and anytime you speak to them, growing up, every one of them's idols, I think, was Jason Crump. Just what's it like lining up in the pits alongside a guy that must have been one of your heroes growing up in the sport?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You'd never expect that you would be doing that at this point in our careers, and for Jason to make a comeback and still show that he's still got it is pretty awesome. And to have him and Bjarni in the team, you know, they've both got a lot of knowledge at the top level of Speedway, and can only benefit us.
Yep. And then heading to Armadale on Friday, I guess for the vast majority of the team, it'll be the first visit. I think Bjarni's been, but not for probably 15 years. I think Crumpy's ever been, yourself. Dylan, I guess, will maybe be asking his brother Max, who rode for the Monarchs the other year. But you guys probably got the only track in the country that's smaller than Armadale, so you must kind of have a rough idea of what to expect.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting for all of us. Like you mentioned, a lot of us probably don't have any experience on that track, so we're probably going to be in for a tricky night to start off with, but hopefully we can get it dialed in and get some points on the board.
Yeah, and we've seen, you know, your own form recently. Certainly, you seem to be making the Coliseum your own. I believe sort of 3 weeks ago you took the track record. 2 weeks ago, obviously, you're into double figures and had those 5-1s in heats 14 and 15. You know, just how much a boost is it for you when you go to these away tracks for the first time, knowing the confidence and the form you can take from scoring those big points at home?
Yeah, massive, because as you mentioned, every away track I go to this year is my first time there. So it's going to be a hard time first time around, and I just need to pick up as much experience as I can. So when I go back the second time, you know, I know what to expect. And I proved that with Eastbourne this year. I struggled there the first time, and second 2 times I went back, you know, I got it dialed in and got some good points. And to be scoring good points at home each week is a great confidence boost. And you know, to be going so well at Plymouth at the moment is great.
Yeah, and of course it's a busy weekend for the Gladiators. The fixtures have been put in such a way that the teams heading north do a bit of a tour and have multiple matches and stuff. So you must be glad to be busy. It's been a stop-start season for a lot of people so far, but a kind of big run in now, probably all the way through to the end of September.
Yeah, definitely. Since I moved over to Plymouth, we've been quite busy, to be honest, and that's the way we like it. And there's still plenty more meetings to come through to September.
Perfect. Well, Zane, thank you very much for joining us here on the Monarchs preview show, and all the best for the weekend ahead. Thanks once again.
Thank you. We'll see you there.
Zane there looking looking ahead to Friday's match against Edinburgh up at Armadale, where you can get your tickets, advance tickets available from www.edinburghmonarchs.co.uk. Get in there now and buy them. You're also, if you cannot make it to the stadium and you're out with the 25-mile radius of Armadale, you can go on the stream and buy and watch the Edinburgh-Plymouth match live on the internet. As we've mentioned in the past, if you do have a valid reason not to attend Friday night, then get in touch, info@edinburghmonarchs.co.uk, and the guys will make the stream available for you. But obviously, we really are encouraging everybody to get back to Armadale. Well, now the restrictions are lifted, and even more were lifted this week. We're looking to get crowds as big as possible at Armadale, and what better place to start with the three-time world champion Jason Crump and Bjarne Pedersen, who's rivaling Sam Masters for best rider in the league this year. So it's a really strong top two. They've also got Dylan Rummel in there as well, and whilst they looked a bit weak all the way start of the season towards the bottom end of their team, they're picked up a bit now and they are better. So it's going to be a tough tie with those big Heat 13s and Heat 15 crucial. As we stand here on Tuesday evening in Kent, we're not sure if Willie will be back and available on Friday night with the COVID restrictions, but hopefully Willie will be there and we'll have a full strength Monarchs 1-7. Looking forward to racing against Jason Crump and another scalp that he's hoping to take against Plymouth on Friday night was Kai Thomson, who was our points winner tonight. It's difficult to say match winner. We didn't win the match tonight. We got that bonus point, and I spoke to Kai Thomson after the match tonight. So grabbing a word here with Kai Thomson, Monarchs point winner tonight here at Kent Speedway. It's fantastic race, first Heat 15 for us, Kai.
Yeah, no, it was good. I wasn't expecting it when they come up to me and said you're in. I sort of got a bit of a shock, but yeah, no, to come out with a 5-1 with the Sam, and it was it was fun to remember. It's good.
So that was 2 5-1s with Sam after a brilliant pass from Paul Stark, who's probably been the best rider around here all season. So yeah, fantastic.
No, yeah, he was. It's tops riding with Sam, and very smooth rider, and he the craft's great and was able to make it easy for me, and pulled off 2 good 5-1s.
Brilliant. So that's obviously we're not going to Birmingham tomorrow now, but looking ahead to Friday night, Plymouth, the one place we didn't get a point in the last week or so, so it'd be good to turn them over and get back 3 full points on Friday night.
Yeah, no, I think we'll be strong Friday. We'll definitely turn around what happened last Tuesday, but yeah, I'm excited, and we should do a good job.
Yeah, how does it feel like racing against likes of Jason Crump?
Yeah, it's good. I'm always racing back home when he makes an appearance, but yeah, it's just you go out there and race everyone. It's all the same, you know.
Just another rider, eh?
That's it.
Exactly. Another one to be beaten, another one to stick in the Kai Thomson record.
Yeah, that's it.
Fantastic, Kai. Thanks very much for tonight, and good luck on Friday.
Thank you very much. See you there.
Kai there in pretty jubilant mood and looking forward to Friday night as he took another big step in his Monarchs career, getting that Heat 15 tonight. It's fantastic to see Kai in action. Hopefully Nathan and a couple of spills, he'll be good for Friday as well, and we'll all look good. So as I said already, we welcome Plymouth on Friday, and it's be the first time they'll come as the Plymouth Gladiators back out the National League in 2021. The last time we faced them was Plymouth Devils, and that was back in 2016, and we'll take a look back now to a big race from there with featuring Kevin Wolbert.
Heat 12, Stefan Nielsen's on gate 1. This is his 6th ride. Kevin Wolbert in gate 2. Gate 3 is Jack Holder, and on the outside, making an awful start, is Dan Bewley, and Holder's made the start. Wolbert onto his tail. He really almost got sandwiched between the two visitors, and now he's got to work hard to try and get himself inside Holder. Close there, he's shown his front wheel to the Aussie, and here he comes now with a big run, and he's almost there. Again, the Holder's seen where Wolbert is. Wolbert still short, gone a bit further out this time to try and get the drive. Plymouth on a race advantage, and they're into the last lap. Holder hanging on grimly. Again, he swings very wide. But Wolbert's come through this time. Holder's got himself into bother there, but that was a terrific victory by Kevin Wolbert, driving hard in there. I did wonder if Monarchs should use Max Clegg there, because Dan Bewley finished fairly far back, but we know what Dan might be able to do. That was a super win by Kevin Wolbert, and he at least didn't lose any ground for the team.
That was a blast from the past from 2016 between Edinburgh and Plymouth, and a sign of the action you can get at Armadale Stadium on a Friday evening. So I recommend you get on that edinburghmonarchs.co.uk website now, get your ticket available for Friday, and get yourself trackside for fantastic action. If you can't make it trackside, you can of course get the stream if you're outside 25-mile radius, again from the Monarchs website. And if you can't, if you have a valid reason not to be at the track on Friday, then get in touch with us, info@edinburghmonarchs.co.uk, and we'll make that stream available. So, from a rather gloomy Kent Speedway after a glorious day, we know we're not going to Birmingham tomorrow, so that's one more point in the back pocket. We've still got that Birmingham match to be rearranged in the Cup, and we'll have the Leicester match from Saturday to be rearranged as well, but we'll look forward to them in the future. But for now, ahead of that match against Plymouth on Friday night, I wish you a very good night.